Hello everyone, it's Robin DeGroot with TLC, Truth, Love, Creativity. And today we're going to look at the energies for Friday, April 3rd, 2020. I'm going to use another of Colette Baron-Reid's decks. This is the Goddess Oracle card deck, Goddess Power. So, Demeter, the Nurturer, number 11. This is the first card, reversed. Kali, Hindu god of liberation and revolution, 25. Nyx, the Greek goddess of secrets. So Demeter, I'll show you this card. It's a very beautiful card. So I'm showing it to you upright. It is reversed in our reading. They're all reversed today. But the Greek goddess Demeter is the goddess of the harvest, grain, motherhood, and sharing in that wealth and that abundance. And when it's reversed, it often signifies that you may be being taken advantage of. So you have to take a look at the codependents in your life, and maybe the people who always need something from you. It's not really a healthy relationship. So try to take a look at any of the things in your life, the patterns, the dynamics that might be representative of this card being reversed. So this is for the energies of today, and they can always last into a few days. So it's not that you want to be all me, but when something shows up that you may be being taken advantage of all the time, this is kind of the pattern of how you meet maybe your friends, your family, your clients, all those type of things, then it's always a real big energy drain on you, and it's not a real respectful relationship. So it's up to you to really say, hey, I am definitely willing to share with what I have, and in a fair way. If it is my energy that's always being given and this is my work, then that requires an even exchange with what you've agreed on for that. It could be monetary if it is your work. So keep that in mind. That number 11 is usually a partnership number, and it's a bit special because it's the master number. So it's master number because it's a double ones. So it is about partnership because it's one and one make two, but it's also a special number because it has the power of the ones is really strong. So the ones are meaning independence and pioneering and all of that stuff. So it's also someone who can kind of like download with those two antennas. So they have very good intuitive sense when this number comes up. So if it is in your birthday or somewhere in your life path number or your name number, those are pretty powerful numbers. And for the energy of today, it's a powerful number. So it's definitely about taking care of yourself, but in the context of relationships and also sharing fairly. Okay, now we have Kali, Hindu goddess of liberation and revolution. This one was also reversed. So you saw those swords, blades there. Kali is the energy of revolution that is often required for liberation. And the process to become liberated is never usually an easy one, but it does make itself that after you've done this, you have way more freedom and joy and just like your life can be so much better than before you're doing that. So when it's reversed, it's often about, there's just anger. And this can be an individual level, but I think right now it's almost on a global level that there's so much frustration, anger, it's really bubbling up to the surface. So in the chakra sense, the sacral chakra, it's like your lower abdomen, the pit of your belly, and it is the birthing chakra. It's about ideas, creativity, and it's actually orange, bright orange. And your root chakra is red, so it grades up to a little bit more orange. But if you know with fire, actually the whiter light and the blue light is really hotter, actually. And with the orange light of the sacral chakra, you have this energy that sometimes comes out as anger. But if you can transmute that anger into creativity, which is the biggest theme of that chakra, creativity and creation, basically, you can create a child with these organs of creation that you have in that chakra. So this card today being reversed says there's a lot of anger, and the liberation aspect, the revolution aspect is definitely there, but we have nowhere to put it. So we kind of have to internalize it in a way that is productive, not just in a way that is destructive to your insides and your emotional self. So if you can internalize this to be creative, and I've been saying this because I am the creativity expert, so I basically believe in this so much that we all need to make our own mark in this life. We need to find our thing that we can do that is something we made and we create out of whatever materials we have, but it's almost like it's from nothing, but it's from our own deep internal knowing. So if it's a manipulative hand type of tactile creation, like visual art or something, awesome. Drawing, writing, I do think it's good to use your hands, move your body in this time because we're so kind of restricted. So if you can move your body in a way that allows you to feel freedom in your own home, then that's going to be really helpful. So the swords here are kind of like slicing away the anger and the ties that bind you when you need a revolution to change something. And this could be a revolution in your own beliefs and your own modes of being. So maybe you always get angry whenever there's any type of restriction. Maybe it's just now you're trying to work at home and you're trying to be a teacher and everybody's distracting, and it's just like the expectations are exponential right now. So instead of taking that anger and just lashing out or internalizing it in a negative way, really try to transmute it, transform it into a creative output. Do something with your children, tell them the boundaries. Like, it's good to notice the card before it, because the card before it is about boundaries, really. And this can really come up when you're trying to homeschool and work at home, because children don't always get it, because normally if you were working away from home, then now it's like, oh, you're home, so you're supposed to be able to play with me and things like that. So things are really changing, and it can still be for the better. So if you can make a good schedule that children understand, then it can be fun and it can be productive. And you can actually make a clock with colors on it. I've seen that done before, and I think it's really good. Get an analog clock and you say, when the hand is here, then this is the time we can do stuff. And before that, then you might need to put that on your door if you have an office and something like that, so that the children understand. And most children are looking for boundaries. They're looking for structure and parameters, and they may push depending on their age, but they will respect the things you've set up that are reasonable, especially if you speak to them like they are intelligent and they can understand, because that is how respect is born on both sides. So it's good to have that always set up, but if you haven't necessarily had to before, then this is a good time. It's actually really good for children. Now we have the last card here is Nyx, Greek goddess of secrets, also reversed. So sometimes when we get this card, if it's upright, it means you need to be patient. There are things we cannot know right now. There's the unknowable, the waiting, the possibility of transformation. So in Nyx upright would come up when that's the situation, but right now it's reversed. So it has a little bit more to do with what are the secrets we're keeping from ourselves and from others about ourselves. So it's kind of like the delusion. So if you have the delusion of, oh, I'm just gonna have one more drink of wine because I deserve it, because I feel bad right now. So some of those things, it's just trying to tell you to look at these for real right now and see all the things that you might be telling yourself are the way it has to be. So a lot of times it's patterns, it's our own, basically our methods that we've lived with for many years. Could be coping, could be just general life. It doesn't always mean everything is bad, but if you have some that you know deep down are negative and you really need to take a look at that, that's what this card is bringing up. So this card is bringing up the fact that there are some elements, structures, patterns going on that are not too good, and they're somewhat on the secret level. So you may be keeping them secret from others, or you may be not admitting them to yourself. So if that's the case, really take a good inventory right now. And when you can also draw on the card before it, where you become liberated from these things because you become super honest with yourself, then you'll feel so much better and your energy abounds, and you really don't have others to blame, because you know some of these things, it's about your own self-responsibility. So when you can take responsibility, then it doesn't have to be all at once and every single thing that might be hard for you, but start to work like plodding along right now, because I think this whole deck actually really helps, feeds into each other of the cards. And it's talking about the boundaries, share, but not like overdoing it so you're totally losing all of yourself. It's talking about power and liberation from being angry and just negative emotions that might be coming up right now. So, and then it's talking about being super honest about what our patterns are, and when we find ourselves into maybe these angry emotions or something like that. So if all of the cards are on like this, this deck, it calls it, when the reverse cards come up, they call it alignment. So sometimes it's called protection, this one's called alignment. So that actually makes sense, and it's really good. Oh, the numbers I also wanted to mention. This one I mentioned was 11. 11 is the number 2, but master number. This Kali was 25, so that becomes 7. So this is a spiritual number. 7 is a very spiritual number, and when you're talking about liberation, being the master of your emotions, revolution from negative things, then the spirituality can ensue after that. This one, Nyx, is 39. So that becomes 12, and 12 adds up to 3. So the 2 plus 1, and that's a creative number. So when you can actually look really honestly at yourself and internalize the patterns you want to change, and you really want to become the best you, and you kind of might have a breakdown a little bit. That can be the crisis of consciousness sometimes, because you're really aware of your failings, and just forgive yourself in those moments and know that you can do better, and you are strong, and you can really do all these things. So we have 2, 7, and 3, and that also adds up to 12. And 12 again adds up to 3. So 1 plus 2 is 3. This is a creative number for the deck. So when you can have the boundaries, be liberated from angry emotions and transmute those to creativity, and not be bound by your patterns of addiction, perhaps, then creativity can come about. So I really like this reading. Now, I just wanted to mention, tomorrow is April 4th, Saturday, and there's supposed to be a global meditation at 7:45 p.m. Pacific time. So if you can do your translation of the time zones, Mountain time is normally 1 hour ahead of that, but because Arizona is not doing daylight saving time, I'm actually going to be on Pacific time. So I'm going to do the meditation on Facebook Live. If you want to join me, and I'm going to do it, maybe I'll be laying down, I'm not too sure yet, but I do want to participate in that meditation and follow some of the guidelines and suggestions from the site Tachyon Global, the tachyon-global.com, I think. And they're talking about really visualizing the sun and some things like this. And it's also to help put some really beaming, friendly and loving spiritual energy out towards the world for this coronavirus. So I think global energy really does make a difference. So if you can't follow me, totally no problem, but definitely try to do it around that time, and just take a look at anything that give you suggestions how to meditate and how to visualize and really participate. I think it will be awesome. And also tomorrow is 444. Maybe this is why they're choosing to do that, because it's the 4th month, it's the 4th day, and 2020 adds up to 4. So altogether, that when we have 444, now again we have 12, and that's 3 again. So that's a creative number, and it's the power of the sacral chakra. So I'm very excited about all those things. Okay, everyone, subscribe and share these videos, and join in the meditation tomorrow.